Hey everyone, welcome to the Passive Income Project. I want to start by going over the three key shifts that you need to make to start attracting five figures a month. So, we're going to be talking all about ditching your 9 to 5 and manifesting a life you don't need a vacation from. And I'm going to give you all the step by step tools to do that. And we're going to get into the nitty gritty details. But mindset is such a huge factor in this. You really need to have your mind in the right place. So that's why I wanted to start out with going over these three key shifts. So I'm Stephanie Keith. I'm going to be your host throughout the course. I'm the founder of the Law of Attraction Tribe. I'm a mom, a wife, the CEO and founder. I am an author, a podcaster, an online course creator, an Instagram influencer, and an affiliate marketer. So I wear many hats, although a couple of years ago, I didn't have any of these titles other than mom and wife. I was working in corporate America and had not yet discovered passive income. So, over the past few years, I've built my business. I've done all of these things, and I want to show you exactly how to do this as well. So, who is this for? This is for anyone wanting to achieve financial freedom, anyone that is sick of the 9 to 5 grind, and anyone tired of trading their time for money. Okay, so let's back up to a few years ago. As I said, I was in corporate America. I was making a good income. I was making $80,000 a year. I had a company vehicle, benefits, 401k, and I would get a bonus every quarter. So, from outward appearances, it looked like I had it all. I had a great job title, it was a big corporate company, and it seemed like everything was going very smoothly in my career. But the reality of it, what I was feeling on the inside, was that I was in corporate hell. My boss was a total tyrant, causing me stress and anxiety to the point where it started physically manifesting in my body as heart palpitations and panic attacks. And I remember going to the doctor and having a complete cardiac workup because I thought that I was having a heart attack. That's how bad this stress manifested in my body. And I just remember my doctor telling me, you need a change. You need to get out of this job and you need to find something else to do because it is literally affecting your health. It is affecting you physically. So that was a huge wake up call for me. And I was also sick of paying someone else to watch my daughter. I was missing out on all those important milestones and all of those key events at school because I was so tied to my job. And I had to turn over a huge portion of my income to have somebody else watch her. And every day I was exhausted. I would get home, and not only was I physically exhausted, but mentally, energetically, emotionally, I was drained. I knew in my heart of hearts there had to be another way. There had to be something else out there because I couldn't imagine living in this type of a lifestyle with this job for the next 30 to 40 years. I wasn't passionate about the work I was doing, and I wasn't leaving my mark on the world. And I really took a look at this. Like, I had spent all of my 20s dedicating so much of my life to this career, but what was that doing for the world? Like, how would people remember me? And the answer was they really wouldn't. Like, there wasn't anything significant that I felt I was doing to make the world a better place. I had no clear purpose, and this caused a total meltdown. Like, once I came to terms with all of this, it completely caused me to stop in my tracks and reevaluate everything. And it wasn't a pretty picture. So, that meltdown is what I now like to refer to as my spiritual awakening, which is a nice way of saying I woke the fuck up, got my shit together, and started to figure out what it truly was that I wanted to do with my life. The sad thing is, I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. I didn't know what I was passionate about. I heard all of these online entrepreneurs talking about following their dreams and doing what you love, but I didn't know what that was. Like, I had no clue whatsoever. My entire identity was tied to two things: being a mom and my corporate job title. Outside of that, I had no identity. I had no hobbies, talents, passions, interests. I didn't even have friends. So I literally gave myself to this corporate job and of course to being a mom. And I think this is what a lot of women go through is they lose themselves in the process. And they're so used to giving everything to everyone else that they don't have anything left for themselves. And that's exactly the boat that I was in. I started thinking, who has time for all of this stuff? Well, I was climbing the corporate ladder during the day and taking care of my daughter at night. I felt like I had no time left for any hobby or talent or mastermind group or friends or anything like that. I was completely drained. I had no time for any of it. And I just couldn't understand how other people actually had time to do these things. So it was a sad reality to face. I felt very lost. I felt very alone. I felt like I was the only person in the world that was going through this. And that was a really scary feeling to go through. But I remember like having this moment where I just thought, you know what? I need to get over it. I had my pity party. This is really depressing, but I do know that I don't want to be stuck in this corporate job forever. And if I'm going to make a change, I need to pull it together and figure it out. And so it was kind of like this moment where I was like, snap out of it, get your shit together, and let's get some work done. So I went from feeling like that, very anxious and depressed and having all of these negative thoughts to feeling really determined because I knew that I had hit this breaking point and there was no going back. So I felt very energized. I all of a sudden had hope that there could be something more. And as I'm a huge, huge believer in the law of attraction, I know that we are the creators of our life story and we can rewrite our story at any point in time. And so in that moment, I decided I was going to rewrite my story. So back to that question, what did I want to do with my life? What was I passionate about? How did I want to leave my mark on the world? That was still the question that I had to answer. And really, what I wanted was to be a stay-at-home mom and wear yoga pants all day, while still being able to go shopping, buy my Starbucks, go out to nice restaurants, go on vacation, do all those things that we were accustomed to doing with my salary from my corporate job. So I knew I didn't want to just be a stay-at-home mom. Like I wanted to have income because I still wanted to be able to live this specific lifestyle that I wanted to live. And I had to figure out if that was even possible. So, unless I won the lotto or inherited a large sum of money from a distant relative, which really wasn't likely, I would have to figure out a way to make a full-time income from home while still giving me all the things that I listed earlier. The Starbucks every day, the going on vacation, going out to eat. So it wasn't that I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. It was that I wanted financial freedom. And I think that's a really important distinction to make because a lot of times we think that all of our answers will be met with something like being a stay-at-home mom, like quitting our corporate job. And then that happens and we're still not happy because we're not truly living the lifestyle we want to live. And so I believe for me that the key is financial freedom. So there's one problem. I had no idea how the heck to achieve financial freedom outside of working a corporate job. I didn't know what type of business I could start. I didn't know how to run a business or anything about online sales and marketing. I was totally, totally clueless. But I knew I just had to take it one step at a time. I just had to put one foot in front of the other. I knew I was a resourceful person and I could figure it out. So I just started one step at a time. I got out a sheet of paper to make a list of all the things I was passionate about doing. And I came up with a measly two things, which was Instagram. And Instagram really was like a savior for me at the time. I was so miserable in my corporate job, and Instagram was kind of my outlet. Like I went and I followed all these inspirational pages that had motivational, positive quotes, and it's what helped me get through those dark days in corporate America. And then the other thing was the law of attraction. I was very, very passionate about the law of attraction. I had a lot of knowledge on it. I had consumed so many books and seminars and videos and TED Talks and anything I could get my hands on having to do with the subject. So I knew that I had a leg up there. I knew more than the average person on the law of attraction, and I was really good at manifesting things. So I know you're probably thinking that's pretty pathetic that there's two things on my list that I enjoy doing and that I'm good at. And one of those is Instagram. But let's go ahead and move on and get over that particular part. You have to work with what you have. So I only had two things on the list, but at least that's two things to work with. It's better than having nothing or having one. So I went with it. And I guarantee if I had two things, you probably have a lot more on there that you're interested in and that you're good at. So you already have a leg up than I did when I got started. So after writing those two things down, I was tucking my daughter into bed one night, and she wanted me to lay with her until she fell asleep. So as I was sitting in bed, I got out my phone and I thought, all right, I have Instagram, I have the law of attraction. I'm just going to start a law of attraction Instagram page. So at 9 o'clock at night, sitting in my daughter's bed on my smartphone, that was how I started the Law of Attraction Tribe Instagram page. And I remember I had been looking at a friend from high school on Instagram that had this like holistic health page, and she had 3,000 followers. And I remember thinking, okay, if she could do that, then I think I could do it too. And if I really focus on this, I'll give it a year. And if I get 1,000 followers within that year, then I'm on the right track and I'm going to keep going with it. So I gave myself that goal and that deadline of 1,000 followers in my first year. And I ended up getting 1,000 followers in my very first month. And things started to just grow quickly. And I built all this momentum. And those two pathetic things that I listed, Instagram and the law of attraction, I combined those and turned those into a business that now brings me 5 figures a month. So I finally had the financial freedom to spend the time with my family while still being able to live that lifestyle I wanted to live. I wanted to live in the same house. I wanted to still be able to go out to eat all the time and go on vacation and take my daughter to Disney and do all those different things. And I had figured out how to do that all from working from home in my yoga pants and being there for my daughter. So if I can do it, trust me, you can do it too. And you're not alone. So I think that's really important. I think a lot of people feel very alone when they have this realization that they don't want to be in their 9 to 5 job anymore. And yet they don't really feel like they're good at anything or they don't know anything about business. It can be really lonely and scary getting started. So you're not alone. You have a hidden talent that should be shared with the world. I believe that everyone was put here for a reason. And I think it's amazing that out of all of the people that ever were, that are here now, that ever will be here, there's no two that are exactly the same. We are all different. And I think that's a miracle. I think that we all have these hidden gems inside of us, and that our purpose for being here is to share that with the world. And so the key or the point is finding out what those gems are, uncovering those things, and then sharing it with the world. So hopefully you're still with me, because now I want to get started on exactly what those 3 key shifts are that you need to make in your life to attract a 5-figure a month business. So number 1, find your passion, right? So we talked about how I didn't know what the heck I wanted to do. And you may know exactly what you want to do, or you may be like me where you're totally clueless and you're not sure where to get started. So do what I did, get out a sheet of paper and a pen, and I just want you to brainstorm as many ideas as you can think of. So don't worry about how it looks, don't worry about grammar or anything like that. Just start writing and let those ideas naturally flow out of you. So if you're having trouble like getting started, getting into that creative state of flow, ask yourself some of these questions. So, what do you do in your free time? What's something that you enjoy and you lose track of time when you're doing it? What do your friends, families, coworkers ask you for when they need help with something? What books or magazines or websites do you like? What types of things are you pinning on Pinterest or searching for on Google? And what skills or talents do you possess? So tonight, just sit on this, like work on it a little bit now, keep the list with you, and just keep adding to it. Like whenever something pops into your mind, write it down. Even if it doesn't make sense or you don't think it's good, don't overthink it. Just write anything that comes to mind because you might look at it differently tomorrow and find some hidden gems there. And I also don't want you to worry about how these things are going to make you passive income. So we're going to get into all of that. We're going to get into marketing. We're going to get into how to monetize these things. Right now, just focus on things that interest you. And also, you don't have to be an expert. Okay. A lot of us think that we need to know everything there is to know about a specific subject in order to build a business around it. And that is not the case. You just have to know a little more than the average person. You just have to be one step ahead. That's it. So here's some things just to let you know, like these are things that people have made six-figure incomes from. Okay, so there's a app, a membership site, and it's 5-minute meditations for busy moms. There's an online course on how to can vegetables that's made six figures. Baking vegan desserts. I mean, I don't know how much more niche you can get than that, but there's people selling boatloads of books out there on this topic. Creating lesson plans for third graders. That's another online course that's generated over six figures. So don't worry about your idea not being able to monetize it. Just write it down because literally everything has their specific place where you can monetize it and you can build a business around it. Okay, so once you have that list and you've kind of narrowed it down, go back over it tomorrow or at the end of the week, take your time with it and highlight any golden nuggets that you find. Then we're going to set our goal. So goal setting is so important. You will never achieve a goal that you do not set. I want you to think about the lifestyle you want to live. Okay, so a lot of times we just think like, oh, I want to be a millionaire. Okay, well, why? Ask yourself why. Like when you're a millionaire, what are you going to do? What type of lifestyle are you going to have? What does that look like? So be as detailed as possible. Don't worry about being unrealistic. Okay, this is your time to dream, to have fun with it, to be creative. So I want you to think about different aspects of your life. I want you to think about your work or your purpose in the world. So do you want to work from your phone? Or do you want to be in a studio? Do you want to work from a coffee shop on your laptop? How many hours a week do you want to work? Do you want to work alone? Do you want to work with other people? Do you want to be on a team? And get really clear on like the environment. Like, what do you want to do every day when you wake up? Do you want to go into an office? Do you want to go into your home office? Do you want to work from your phone while sitting on the couch in yoga pants? Like, get really clear about the movie of your life and what you want that to look like. What are your relationship goals? So whether it's with the love of your life or with family or friends, like how does that incorporate into your lifestyle? Health and wellness, like what types of things do you want to achieve with your body, with your mind? Do you want to start meditating? Do you want to do yoga? Do you want to work out? Do you want to eat better? And then finally, like all the fun material things, have fun with this. Like think about what you want. What type of a house do you want to live in? What exactly does it look like? Where is it located? What car are you driving? What interior does it have? Like get really detailed and have fun with it and visualize yourself like you're in a movie and you're the star and this is your life and this is what your daily routine now looks like. So that brings us to the next point. What does a typical day look like? Okay, so I want you to think about when you wake up in the morning, from the time you go to bed, take all the things that we went over on the previous slide and incorporate that into your typical day. And I want you to think about and write down what that typical day looks like. How do you want to wake up in the morning? How do you want to spend the hours during the day? Okay, and then you need to figure out how much it's going to cost you to live that lifestyle. Okay, so as I said earlier, a lot of times we say, oh, I want to be a millionaire, which is great. I mean, who doesn't want to be a millionaire? But what I learned by doing this exercise is that I don't have to be a millionaire. I could make $10,000 a month and live the lifestyle I want to live because I've done this exercise. So I want you to really like put numbers to all those things that you want. So that house that you want, what's your mortgage payment every month? What's your car payment? How much is it going to cost you to maintain that lifestyle? So you can use this expense sheet here as an example where you write down all the expenses that are going to be a part of this lifestyle and then estimate the cost of that. And you're going to come up with a monthly figure. So once you do that, I think you might be surprised because as I said earlier, I thought to live the lifestyle I want to live, I'd have to be a millionaire. I'd have to have all these investments and have everything paid off. But the reality was I don't. All I need is about 10 grand a month, and that is more than enough to live the dream lifestyle that I want to live. And then I want you to set an intention statement. So with your intention statement, you're always going to start it with I am. I am making $10,000 a month in passive income. And you want to say I am because your brain can't differentiate between imagination or reality. So you want to start talking to yourself and to the universe as if it's already happened, as if you're currently living this lifestyle that you want to live. And that is going to help with that law of attraction piece. It's going to help attract that to you. And it's going to rewire your brain to start thinking like a person that's making that much every month in passive income. Okay, and this intention statement is something that you're going to use every day. I want you to look at it. I want you to think about it. I want you to write it down first thing in the morning, every single day. This is so vital to your mindset and to manifesting this goal. So the third and final piece is wrapping it all up into mindset. So you can only achieve what your mind can conceive. I'm sure we've all heard that before, but mindset truly is everything. So you really do need to be open-minded to new possibilities and new ways of doing things. So if you're coming into this course being really skeptical and thinking like, this isn't going to work for me, this is a scam, there's no way that I can live that kind of lifestyle, you're immediately blocking yourself from manifesting this into your life. Okay, and it's just not going to work. So what I want you to ask yourself when you get that way, and trust me, we all get that way from time to time, but I just want you to reframe it and think, what do I have to lose? Like, really, what do you have to lose by having an open mind and by being optimistic and by truly believing in your goal? What do you have to lose? Like, obviously, you're not living that goal right now. So you really only have something to gain from this. So just reframe it and remember, like, you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. So play the game, shift your mindset, and I promise you that is going to be the most important thing that you can do for yourself. So what's the one difference between the people that are highly successful and the rest of us? All right, number one, they think bigger. They think on a scale much larger than the rest of us. Number two, they believe it's possible. They believe without a doubt that what they want, they can achieve. And they will not quit until they get there. So we need to talk about getting comfortable with failure. All right, in our society, we tend to think of failure as like the end all, like it's horrible, it's the worst case scenario, and our mind creates all of these horrible things that most of the time never happen. Okay, but the reality of it is we all fail. Even the highly successful people that you see, they still fail. In fact, they have failed more times than we have. The difference is their belief and their mindset will not let anything stand in the way. So when they fail, instead of giving up like the rest of us, they get back up and they try again. They learn from that mistake, they try again, they know they're probably going to fail again, and that is okay because they will learn from it and they will get up and they will keep going. Okay, they have perseverance and they don't let failure get them down. All right, so all in all, number one, find your passion. Number two, get that goal clear in your head. You want to be very clear on your goal and your purpose. And number three, you want to have a success-driven mindset. If you have those three things, or you're willing to commit to those three things, then you're more than halfway there. As I said earlier, the mindset piece is the biggest piece of it all. And if you can get your mind in the right place, then all this other stuff in the course is going to be a piece of cake. Everything else is just technical. It's all the technical stuff that can be taught to you. And I will teach you everything step by step. And trust me, if I can do it, so can you. I had no following when I got started. I had 0 followers. I had no tech experience and I had no special degree or training. I was as average as they came. I was a mom in her 30s, sick of trading my time for money, doing work I didn't love, answering to that condescending boss. I was sick of using my vacation days for doctor's appointments and school field trips instead of actually taking a vacation. I don't know if you go through this yourself. And I was scared. Like, yes, I was absolutely scared. It's terrifying to put yourself out there. It's terrifying to think that you're going to go all in on your dreams and that you may fail. I was very afraid of failing. I was very afraid of what everyone else was going to think of me. I was worried that no one would like what I had to offer. But my why was stronger than my fears. I wanted to be the one to raise my daughter. I wanted to be there for all those milestones, for all those important moments and school functions. If I wanted to go to the beach on a regular Tuesday afternoon with my husband, I wanted to be able to do that. I didn't want to reserve that for my one vacation every year. I wanted to work out in the middle of the day. I didn't want to have to wake up at 5 a.m. to squeeze in a workout before work. I wanted to do that at my leisure. So the alternative was so much scarier than my fear of going for it. Thinking about spending the next 30 to 40 years in my day job sounded like a total nightmare and was by far way worse than the fear of going for my dreams and not making it. Paying someone else to watch my kids every day while I was at a job I hated did not make sense to me. Waking up 10 years from now, realizing that I only lived for the weekends and vacations was terrifying. I wanted to make every day count. I don't want to live to work. I want to work as little as possible so I can enjoy living my life with the people I love. I don't want to suck up to a boss that is condescending or treats me poorly, or give my life to a company that would replace me in a heartbeat. And I don't want to work my butt off making some CEO rich while I'm struggling. I wanted financial freedom, and I got there with multiple sources of passive income. So remember, if you have those 3 things, the passion, the purpose, the clear goal, and the right mindset, you can achieve this just like I did. And I can teach you exactly what I did to get there every step of the way. So I'm going to teach you throughout this course how to turn that passion into a 5-figure-a-month business. So we're going to do that by creating multiple sources of passive income, which means you put in the work up front. I mean, don't get me wrong, this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's not going to happen overnight. You do have to put in the work up front. But once those systems are in place, you can then relax and enjoy the life you want while the money comes rolling in. With the right products, services, and systems in place, financial freedom is possible. So I'm going to show you exactly how to achieve that throughout these modules. So get started on finding your purpose and your passion, setting that goal and getting your mindset in the right place. And once you're there, let's go ahead and get started with the rest of the passive income project. Good luck, everyone.